All right. First off, the word Christian is to try and be like Christ or like Jesus or one with Jesus or one with God as Jesus was. All right. Now, we all know there's only one true God, right? But it ain't the God we're necessarily following. We could be following Satan more than God. That's the problem. The lie Satan told is that God is good and evil. God will forgive you and condemn you. All right. No. God is only good. And Satan, the once good, is now the one being good and evil to you. All right. That's what you won't hear. All right. That's the real truth. All right. Now, if you're doing other human beings good and evil, you're still being like the devil. You still need Jesus to save you from that idiocy you're doing to each other. All in the name of your fucked up religion, which is what Satan is showing you, a fucked up religion. And I can say that and mean that. Because it's all throughout your Bible. You're learning fornication from Satan, though no one knows who they're really supposed to marry anyway. The fornication, though, is you're not condemning yourself for it. That's what makes it fornication. But if you forgive sex and you're trying to find your wife, that's different too, huh? All right. Right. Even if you're with, say, over 17 women by now. Trying to find the one, right? That's called taking them for a test drive before you buy the whole cow. Right? That's part of a song. Don't hand me the lines and keep your hands to yourself. Right. See, if you come at that attitude with the male, you'll never find nobody, by the way. If Sheena came at me with that attitude, we wouldn't even be together the one time we were together, right? But the reason we were is she didn't, though. See, had she told me I was waiting for marriage, the sex part wouldn't have happened, right? I didn't know she was or wasn't. I didn't assume she had a problem with premarital sex. I didn't know she didn't, right? She didn't say. See, that's what she took for granted, not me, not me. During our date. That's why she can't ever make it rape either. Even if she wanted to wait for marriage and thought she didn't have to tell me, she does, right? See, that's one of the little problems with that idea, right? To prove rape, I have to know you're waiting for marriage and then say, oh, okay, I did it anyway. I didn't do it anyway. I didn't know you were waiting for marriage. Because most people in the church don't. The churches I'm going out to in Georgia anyway. They're having premarital sex, honey, so I don't know what your church is doing. And you got to tell me if your church is or isn't waiting for marriage. And that's you personally, right? You never brought that up either. See, you can't assume I know your church's belief if my church is trying to have sex with me or jerk off with me, right? See, we're going to have an issue there because my church ain't treating me right, even if yours is. Okay, and that becomes self-righteousness to you because you didn't think you had to tell me anything. Like I'm supposed to know what that means with you. When I don't know what that means with you. Nobody does but you. Now, I no more condemn you than again, right? You can condemn me. If you don't tell me, I don't know. No one does. Not even Jesus himself does. Everything you're going through, or he would have, Lazarus died and would have showed up before he died, right? Why didn't he do that? He was somewhere else doing something else, just like everybody else, right, in the world, right? Jesus, like, he was one person, right? Now, we could try to be like Jesus or as Jesus, but we're still not Jesus. You don't know that either. If I have a dream and I saw the throne of God in heaven, that means I'm trying to be as Jesus. And God is showing me it's wrong so I can make it there at the end of my life, right? That's when you actually go before the great white throne anyway. And for your final judgment. That's all that is, so is a preparation for that. I have to get myself ready for when I stand before the great white throne. So do you. And that don't involve condemning people for their mistakes. It involves forgiving them so you can be forgiven yourself. That's the actual point to everything Jesus is saying, right? Not the condemnation there. See, if you call an adulterer, what are you doing? Condemning the sex act as if it's an adulterous act when you don't know it is or isn't. Right? Just because some men legally married a woman first, right? does not mean that that's his true life. What do you think the term married and being given in marriage means, right? A lot of people, right, marry for money, right? Especially women. A lot of people, I know, marry for loneliness, right? Again, they're lonely, they want somebody, right? But if you condemn adultery, you're an adulterer yourself because you don't know who you're supposed to marry. You're picking and choosing who you marry, right? But if you forgive the sin and say, I'm a female looking for a male, or, right? I'm a male looking for a female, and you know that's all it can be here, right? And you don't condemn yourself for trying to find a girlfriend or a boyfriend, you're better off, right? Because then you're forgiving sex, right? Not condemning it as being something adulterous. When you are calling another person who's doing it without a legal ceremony, right? You're calling that fornication. No, it's not. If the two people having sex are committed to each other, it's not fornication, right? It's not even premarital sex, because sex itself is becoming one flesh, right? You understand, right? You're having sex with someone. You could get pregnant by that person as well, right? You don't know that, right? Then you're not paying attention in school either. The Bible tells you in Old Hebrew, in Old English, two shall be one flesh to be married, right? Now, did Adam and Eve, for example, have a marriage certificate? No. They didn't have to sign a little piece of paper to be married. Why not? All that was required for them in Eden to be married is to have sex, right? With each other, and only each other, right? It was until the tree of the knowledge of good and evil tried to teach them what that meant to it, right? That they actually knew good and evil with him, right? And that has to be Satan himself. The man has become as one of us to know good and evil with that person, right? That person taught them good and evil, not Jesus, the tree of life, right? And again, Jesus is the only one who exists inside and outside of time, right? Because he's still alive today. He's just sitting or standing on the right hand of God, or the right side of God, whatever you want to call it, right? Now, Satan is supposed to be the left hand of God, right? Because you have a right and left hand, right? Now, the thing is, though, Satan is teaching us to rebel, and again, people make the right hand, for example, more important than someone that's their left hand. But that's not a crime either. That's not something wrong either, right? Some people, once in a while, might be what's called ambidextrous, meaning they can use both hands, right? None of that is a crime, though, right? None of that has anything to do with a person's salvation, whether you're right-handed, left-handed, or ambidextrous, right? That's another example of someone taking the right hand and making it a sin to be left-handed when God never said that, right? The most people who are right-handed, it's their right hand that saved them, right? In their mind. But if you're left-handed too, it's your left hand that saves you, right? But if you're ambidextrous and it's both hands, right? You understand, right? Mm-hmm. But then you might be more equally balanced than someone who's right or left-handed, right? Which is it better to use? One hand that you favor, the opposite hand which you favor, or both hands, which means you could use both the same, right? See, one means you're not thinking correctly about the idea of using your hands, right? You think one hand is more important than the other, right? If you, again, judge something, you're going to be judged, right? This is what that judgment means. That's what Jesus is saying. If you look upon the woman to lust after her in your heart, you've done committed adultery with her in your heart. Now, your heart, okay, is your first part, right, of how you feel. If you're lusting after somebody, right, or you want to be with that person, right, but you don't know they're married or not, that's not a sin either, right? But if you know they're married and you behave yourself and you repent and you forgive yourself that temptation, right, versus condemning yourself for that temptation, right, what are you doing? The right thing. The right thing. Right. You're to take every thought into captivity to be so Jesus anyway. But like I said, right, the reason I don't want to sleep with a promiscuous woman is I don't know if she's not pregnant by another guy, right? When she tries to get with me herself, right? And don't want to stick me with the baby she couldn't stick him with, right? Because see, again, I don't want to raise another man's baby just fine like any other man, right? But, if I break up with my girlfriend, for example, kind of like what could have happened with Mary Bell and Scott, I'm not sure, right? It is 2 weeks off, whatever that means, right? Only Mary Bell knows why he's not my son or why he is my son. And all she has to do is tell me why. And I believe her. But if she tells me I'm the last person she was with from September to December, and she's not with nobody else, and Patrick is dealing with her being on birth control pills, 2 weeks off. Could be why. And the birth control pills themselves made a little smaller by 2 weeks, right? Which makes more sense, right? He's Scott's, who's 3 months larger than he's supposed to be, or he's mine, who is only 2 weeks smaller than he's supposed to be, right? There you go. There you go. But I'm not the one who's being irrational in it. That would be who? Mary Bell or Scott or whoever, right? Anyone around them who's still believing Patrick is theirs is being irrational, right? Not me. And I'm just dealing with it as a medical fact, right? And what that birth weight would mean for a normal child. Now, that's the point, too. For the child to be 3 pounds bigger, Mary Bell, whatever, right? After 5 and let's give it 3 weeks, right? Is still bigger than he's supposed to be, right? Now, until the 6 months, the child's real small and develops at a slower rate. You can't even tell someone's pregnant until after the 6 months. It's not until then that the baby bump even starts showing, and that's the 7th, 8th, and 9th month, right? But I didn't do it to trick Mary Bell. I didn't do it to trick Scott. I don't even know how she got pregnant either. It's all I mean, right? I'm just trying to deal with it like anyone else would, right? If you were told that same thing by your ex-girlfriend, right? And that don't mean she has to come back. That don't mean she don't. That don't mean she ever will. It don't mean she ever won't. But it depends on when she does it. Right. If I meet someone else, I'm not going to just drop them for her. I don't downshift that fast like in the movie The Cutting Edge, right? You know, you can't tell me you love me, be treating me like shit the whole time, and me not know what to do about it, but you totally do, right? Out the blue, right? No, I don't downshift that fast, honey, right? I get it, I get it. And if I'm with someone else by then, right, you're the one who ruined the relationship anyway, where all this is going on now. Anyway, even your stubbornness is not wanting to find out, right? I can't make you do that, right? I can't make you believe me if you don't want to believe me. I can't make you love me the way I think I deserve to be loved either. And if you're not, you're falling short of what I expect my girlfriend or my wife to do. So that's our problem. You're not even caring if I am happy with you or not. So that's the failure. So I broke up with you too. Bye bye. Move on to the next one, right? I'm over that, right? And again, right? You can try to come back if I meet someone else, and maybe eventually you could do something to sabotage that relationship too. And again, if I don't have nobody else, I guess I'll take you back finally. But that sounds like a lot of work, which you could have avoided by now. Too, if I'm still single, right? Whole point. You know, the songs, you don't know what you got till it's gone by Cinderella, right? That's the point, right? Now, I'm not yet gone. I'm still on the table, and she thinks she still has me as an option, or whatever, or not, or whatever, right? She's thinking. I don't know. I don't know. But there's only three ways she feels about it. Either she wants me back, she don't, or she's not sure and don't know what to do, right? There you go. There you go. Those are the three main ways you can feel about it, right? And anything else is all between that. And the different degrees, right? But the truth is, I'm still single, so if she came back now, I might would take her back, right? But if I meet another woman, I'm less likely to take her back, preferring her, right? So I'm not saying she can't wear the other woman down and harass the hell out of her and make her leave me either. You can do that too, right? Anyone can, right? But that ain't love either, that's possession, right? If you don't want men doing it to you, you can't do it to a man. Trying to find a girlfriend, right? And you don't want to be the girlfriend, and you don't want to be the girlfriend, right? Just like she didn't, and she barely wanted to be my lover, right? Which is the only reason I know I was with her. We were lovers at one point, right? But that's what she said on one of the Valentine's Day. No one can enter me but my lover, right? And your lover may have entered you fully, right? And had a child with you, but you're too stubborn to really find out, right? Or you're not telling me everything, like I said, and I done thought of everything. So all we can do is move on either way. Thanks for the memories, right? I remember you, right? And I am hopeful I'll meet someone else in the future because of you, right? But even if I'm striking out now, honey, the strikeout is because I'm not finding the right one still. That's obvious, right? But it don't make me gay. It don't make me able to do more about it than I can do right now either. And it don't mean I'm not trying, right? It's just how life is working it out for me. I'm still single, right? And some people have to be single. Mm-hmm. until they find someone. That's all you can do. Mm-hmm. For the whole 18 months together, we had to work it out to even be together some of the times, right? Right. But they knew when we would be together by the end of it anyway, Mary Bell. Probably how you got pregnant. Because they knew when was the last time we were meeting. And they were wanting to make sure you weren't fucking me. We were just friends. Not me and you. We didn't think of it that way. But the word sabotage doesn't mean either party gets what they want. If you didn't want a baby with me, they made sure you had one. If I didn't even know I could get you pregnant again, I could deal with it easier, though, than you could, right? I already had a child with someone else, right? Daphne. Though she wasn't no princess either, right? She was more the frog, right? And how she treated me at the end, I know. Everything was good at first, but then she turned into the frog, right? Okay. She was the frog princess, I guess, right? Mm-hmm. The fake wife. Even though I got her pregnant too, right? See, pregnancy, is just it's a means for some women, right? They don't care who they get pregnant by. And she had to have a husband and be in a stable relationship before her mother even wanted her to have her daughter, right? But you can't leave me stranded in Tennessee and me not know this is not a good idea anymore, right? No. You all up to no good, right? Not me. Mm-hmm. And all I can do, like I said, with any of the other exes is move on, right? Once it's over, it's over, right? If something can be rekindled, it can be rekindled. If it can't, it can't, right? That's the truth. And like I said, but now you're part of my history, right? See, if I meet someone new, I wasn't born yesterday, right? I gotta tell them about your crazy antics and how you treated me. That's anybody who has an ex. You can't deny you're dating people if you're dating people. That's stupid. That's part of confession too, by the way, right? Okay, I dated so and so and so and so, right? And it didn't work out. That makes it an autobiography too, right? If you really dated that person, even if it ended badly, right? Because of their misunderstanding of the Bible and yours at the time, right? Neither one of us understood it perfectly, though, right? We're children in the material world sinning against each other and not really forgiving each other, like Satan wants us to more than often. Ain't it true? Ain't it true? So whatever, right? Move on. Live and let live, not live and let die, right? Which is what Satan is teaching you. Well, here's the thing: if Satan tried to kill himself, there's only one way at that time he could have done it where he would be permanently dead, right? And that's drown yourself in the ocean, right? And just go as deep as you can go until you stop breathing, right? And that's all you can do, right? But he went down into the grave. Don't that sound like something like they talk about the deep waters and all that in Ezekiel. Why do you think Satan comes out the sea one day? You ever heard that? Right? Yes, I have. Well, how do you think you can kill yourself in Eden where there's no death yet, right? Drown yourself in the ocean, right? See, around the whole landmass was the ocean, right? And Eden was near a large body of water, right? We call it now the Mediterranean Sea, right? Now, no, he didn't get as far as Georgia down. Come on, get real. Before he died, but however far he got, right, is however long you can hold your breath underwater, right? And you were made on land too, right? You were either birthed by Jesus or made as Jesus. That depends on it, right? God can do Jesus, Satan, and Adam the same way, right? And there's at least 3 humans that are neither male nor female, Jew nor Gentile, bond nor free in Eden itself, right? Mm-hmm. That's again why Adam is plural, not singular, right? If there's 3 of them, and one of them, you good and evil, one of us or one of them, is how it works, ain't it? If one of you wants to know good and evil with the other 2, right? And you're still one, right? As is the tree of life, right? That's your choice. That's your choice. And then I'm not lying to you about it like Satan is, who's denying he did it, right? If Satan did it and you're denying it, the only one who would deny it is Satan himself, right? That he was even in Eden, right? Which is a lie, I know. Because someone else is talking to Eve, which she mistakes as a serpent. Now, either the serpent's already in the tree or it's about to climb up it or go over to it, right? If you want to involve it in either way, in either capacity, right? It's either walking towards it, right? And then she sees something else in the limb, on the limb, or near a limb, right? Which a tree, my arm is a limb. I'm a tree too, right? I have hair on my head, right? Or some of you don't. It's not a sin. That's not a sin. But you have hair on your hair to cover your head as a tree has leaves, right? Now, the only other animal that doesn't have fur is the pig, right? And like I told you, the pig needs a shelter so it can have shade during the